We took the ultimate gamble last time out in Michigan on fuel mileage in search of our first win as a NASCAR Winston Cup Series rookie. Unfortunately, we came up short as we head to Bristol Motor Speedway here this weekend, the last great Coliseum. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our NASCAR My Careers. Ryan Newman continues to really exceed expectations this season. Picked up his fifth career win last episode. It was one heck of a drive, and he looks to continue his kind of run towards getting himself up front in the championship battle. And we had some breaking news this weekend as well. Hendrick Motorsports have made it official. Joe Nemechek, of course, we know is on the way out of the number 25 car at the end of the season. Well, they have finally announced who's going to get behind the wheel in 2004. It's going to surprise you. Brendan Gaughan will drive the number 25 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet in 2004. And on top of that, they confirmed their current prospect in the making, Kyle Busch, will be making some select starts next season as well. So that's going to be very exciting. We also had our reporter of PH actually confirm this weekend that Carl Edwards is looking at doing some part-time starts next season for Roush, and it will be in the number 26 car. And what is it expectation to have him go full-time in the 2005 season, which is also Hendrick's expectation with Kyle Busch. We come through into qualifying, we cross the line, we run a 16:2:05, putting us P21 here, right about where I think we expect to be in a track like Bristol. Last time we came to Bristol, Jeff Gordon picked up his first and only win of the season, and he's picking up right where he left off because he scores his 48th career pole here from Bristol Motor Speedway. So things looking very good there. Harvick, McMurray, Martin, Sterling Marlin, your top 5 as well. Rounding out the top 10 was Kurt Busch and Ryan Newman. Last episode winner, 4 wins on the season. Of course, 2 drivers right now sitting at 4 wins on the season, Newman and of course Matt Kenseth, who went on that 4-race streak. As you see, rounding up the grid, Jerry Nadeau and Jeremy Mayfield looking very off the pace this weekend. So we're ready to go racing. Saturday night racing here under the lights from Bristol. And can Jeff Gordon continue kind of a bit of a charge through the points order? He is turning things around lately. Of course, it's been a disaster for the 24 team all season long. I was excited, watching the season early. It looked like Jeff Gordon was going to be a serious threat for the championship. And, really after his win at Bristol, things went very wrong very quick. And you see the 25 of Joe Nemechek going to the back after an unapproved body modification during qualifying there before the race. And now here we go, moving up a spot into P20. Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick will lead the field to the green flag. We're racing under the lights here from Bristol Motor Speedway on the run through turns 1 and 2. Of course, such a short racetrack now, 175 laps of racing. Going to be a lot of potential for chaos, a lot of potential for who knows what, because of the potential of green flag pit stops and cautions coming out during that. Some drivers that are really fast could get trapped a lap down, and it's really going to be a very interesting and intriguing race to see this play out. Jeff Gordon's already lost the lead, so that 24 not looking great right off the bat. Kevin Harvick takes over in the 29. Very surprising when you look at a guy like Kevin Harvick or, a few drivers that surprise me that they haven't won more races so far. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, of course, he's only gotten a single win this season. And Jimmy Johnson, we've talked about, it's kind of been on a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a bit of a kind of quiet period. They just really haven't done what they've needed to do in a lot of the races as of late, kind of in this summer stretch. And you have to wonder if they're going to turn things around. But keep in mind, we're coming up on the final 10 races of the season. Following tonight, we have just 11 races left in Season 1 of this NASCAR My Career mode. It's hard to believe we're already nearly done the 2003 season, and then we'll be moving on into 2004 with some more silly season stuff to confirm as well on the way throughout the entirety of these final races now. But it's going to be exciting because right now, of course, it's Matt Kenseth versus Tony Stewart for the championship, but you still can't rule out a Jimmy Johnson, a Kevin Harvick, or even a Ryan Newman. A lot of young drivers that are up there fighting for the championship this season. And as we come through already on the lap 13, ripping the top here, Coming up on a lot of these mid-teen runners right now, you got Jeff Burton in the number 99, a few wins on the season, of course, for him. And how about Jimmy Johnson right now? Not doing great. He's only in 18th place, is being stuck here on the outside, not where I want to be, because we're stuck behind some of these guys that are running the top that are a little bit slower, and that's allowing Ricky Craven to my inside, and behind us in my mirror, you got the number 18 Interstate Battery Chevrolet of Bobby Labonte, Dave Blaney to my inside as well. He would be able to pass me by lap 18. We're going to actually jump down to the inside line here is behind us. I just thought Joe Nemechek really set it up the inside. I mean, actually, Joe Nemechek looking very fast for sent to the bank for unapproved body modifications, and already on lap 19, you've gone from the bank at Bristol to now nearly in the top 20. That shows you right off the bat that number 25 is very strong. But actually moving back up to the outside here, ripping the top again as we're continuing to try and move forward. You got Mark Martin, who's also on the way back down the order. Now as we got big trouble into turn 3, big crash. Sprague, Mayfield, Andretti's involved. Caution is out early here from Bristol, and no one's going to actually pit here, I don't think, because we're very early in the run. We still got 37 laps of fuel, so we'll stay out and we'll get ready to go back green for the first restart of the night. That was a really promising first run of that race, in my opinion, as Kevin Harvick and Sterling Marlin, your front row. Sterling Marlin's got a pair of wins so far this season, including most recently, of course, in Daytona. Now, there's kind of been an asterisk, maybe on both of his wins, of course, but Daytona, I mean, he just right place, right time, and he was able to benefit and find himself a win. So we'll see what he can do here tonight in Bristol. Now, as Matt Kenseth moves into P2, you can see from here, as we now drop down the order a little bit, stuck on this outside. I love running the top at Bristol, but being stuck on the outside on a restart is not necessarily where you want to be, and you're seeing why, because it's just a bit of an accordion effect. Everyone's just kind of going backwards here now, as we'll get down to the inside now behind Kenny Wallace, and right on the back of the number 6 Viagra Ford Taurus of Mark Martin. Nearly made some contact with the Roush driver, as we'll be 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Actually a bit of door-to-door contact there on the run into turn 3. All of us kind of came together right there, but all is good as we'll pass him. I'm very surprised Mark Martin's in the top 10 in the standings, to be completely honest, because it feels like it hasn't been a very good season for that 6 team, but I mean, they're still putting together, I guess, enough of a season to be in the top 10 mix at least now, as we still have 145 laps to go here from Bristol Motor Speedway now, and at this point flirting with going back up to the outside, but now getting caught up behind the 21 of Johnny Benson, 21st place of Johnny Benson in that number 10 Pontiac, but we would eventually pass him and as well continue racing with the number 6 of Mark Martin. And as we come through at this point to lap 34, Kevin Harvick still in control, and we're starting to make a little bit of headway here now, rolling that top lane, passing now the number 15 of Waltrip. And now into the top 20 we go at this point, going up to the top again in 1 and 2. And now we're going to roll alongside on the exit to the outside of the number 2 of Rusty Wallace. And we were really starting to make some moves here, passing Kenny Wallace. And now we're going to force the issue. We're going to go 3 wide here in 1 and out of turn 2 with Jamie McMurray, who's running 16th, and Bobby Labonte as well, and making some big time moves here as we're trying to enter the top 15 with that number 97 of Kurt Busch. We'll go around the outside of him and go 3 wide actually with him and Dave Blaney, but we caught the outside wall. Then we run into the back of the 77 as we head down this back straightaway. So a big fumble right there, and that's going to cost us some time. Back down to 18th place we go as we try to fight with this 42 again. 3 wide with McMurray. I'm sure he's tired of me because I just forced him to back out of it now as we are continuing to try and make up some of that time that we just gave up to the outside of the 77 and into turn 1 again, rolling that top line, lap 40, and we're continuing to still, even after that contact with the wall, picking up some damage, making some headway here, and as well going 3 wide with Kurt Busch and Bobby Labonte on the exit of turn 2, and this is a pass for the 15th position. So we're breaking into the top 15 as behind us I see the 0 of Jack Sprague working his way forward. He actually pitted because he brought out the caution earlier, so he's got some more speed as well, as we were now working our way through lap traffic and pounced on Jeff Burton, was able to pass him because of the 49 here of Ken Schrader, bit of contact with him as well, but we have a new leader. The number 17, Matt Kenseth, out in front over that 29 of Kevin Harvick at this point. And to my inside, though, lap 49 goes that 99 of Jeff Burton. So he gets back in front of me. We drop back down to 15th. I feel like if we kind of, are on our game all race long, I feel like 15th place is probably kind of where we're going to be, as we've got some green flag pit stops now. Actually kicking off, Dale Earnhardt Jr. I just saw Tony Stewart, and here comes Labonte. So here we go. Green flag stops actually happening. Kevin Harvick is in. The other Labonte, Terry's in. The 25 of Nemechek. Matt Kenseth pits from the lead. Ryan Newman then pits from the lead. Jeff Gordon now takes over the lead in that DuPont Chevrolet as we are now into the top 5. I was running this a little long because I was like, there's a real chance we could see a yellow. So I was trying to see maybe if we could catch the field a lap down. But as we come to lap 58, Jeff Gordon's come in, and I say at this point, okay, let's come in. We've only got a handful of laps of fuel left in this number 21 Motorcraft Ford. Jeff Burton's going to go long, but we're going to come in for 4 tires and fuel with some minor adjustments, loosening up this car just a little bit, down to 49.6 on the wedge. It's going to be a sub 16 second pit stop here, 16.5 seconds. As a bit of smoke up there, I thought that might have been a caution coming up for a brief moment, but Jamie McMurray, he has yet to come into the pit lane, and he's got himself out front right now on that Chip Ganassi number 42. It's been a very solid season for Jamie McMurray, and a lot of us rookies have been very impressive at times. Myself, McMurray, as well as Greg Biffle. Here comes Jeff Burton out of the pits, and Jack Sprague to my inside there. He's P2 right now. We know he can go further because of the fact that he brought out that caution, therefore pitted, has more fuel than everybody else. Now as Jeff Burton's going to be able to pass us, so we're giving up a little bit of track position because we stayed out a bit longer than some other drivers, but unfortunately losing a spot here to the number 6 of Mark Martin, and just hoping, of course, that it stays green until the 42 comes in. We had also lost a spot to the 41 of Sterling Marlin, who moves into 23rd as we're working our way through some lap traffic, and a lot of the traffic is all kind of clumped together as well as we continue waiting for that 42 of McMurray to come into the pits, and just hoping he's going to come in. Eventually he would, so we would be back on the lead lap now behind this big group of a mix of lap cars and lead lap cars, including Jimmy Johnson, Marlin. I said 41 of Marlin earlier, I meant 40 because of course Casey Mears is in that number 41, but we are pretty well on the same straightaway as the leader, and not in a good way. He's only a straightaway behind me, so Kevin Harvick is closing in. We're going to need a caution before long now, as there comes Jamie McMurray out of the pits. He stayed out so much longer. He's going to be so far behind. He'll be going probably a lap down as we are continuing now to the inside of the 5 of Terry Labonte, and all of a sudden we have worked our way into about the mid-teens right now, running P17. If we can clear this 5, caution is out. There it is, yellow flag. We needed that one, and it's for the number 8 of Dale Jr. Engine issue there. Smoke pouring out of the back. Caution is out, and we're going to see some mixed strategy. Several drivers pitting, but the majority will stay out, including myself, and we'll gain now 6 positions.
Coming to the green.
So, Kevin Harvick and Bill Elliott lead the field back to green. We're not quite halfway through this race just yet. We have got now 101 laps to go here from Bristol Motor Speedway now, and all of a sudden, after staying out, we are promoted to nearly a top 10 running position. As we head down into turn number 3, we will clear just about that 6. Now we pass Martin. Sure enough, into P10 we go to the inside of the number 18 of Bobby Labonte. Up front, it's Harvick, it's Kenseth, it's Newman, Jeff Gordon, Elliott, as well as Tony Stewart. Of course, Matt Kenseth looking to try and just gain these little points at a time right now on Tony Stewart to get himself, up front in this championship conversation now. But it really does look like it's going to come down between Kenseth, Stewart, and maybe Jimmy Johnson, maybe Kevin Harvick, and maybe on Ryan Newman as well. But for sure, Stewart and Kenseth, I feel like are going to go head to head, and it's really going to come down to what driver is going to avoid having some of the worst races throughout these final 11 races that we have following tonight's race here from Bristol. Now, as you can see, we have now migrated up to the outside line, and as soon as I've done that, we start to roll here to the outside of the 18 of Bobby Labonte, and we'll look to clear him down this back straightaway. Now can't quite pull it off. Now lap 80 of lap 175. At this point now, Bill Elliott drops down into 8th. We'll clear the 18. Into P9 we go, and then we would run down Elliott and go to the inside here, cut down on the exit there, and we should be able to clear him right here through the center of the corner. Yes, we do. Now into 8th place behind Joe Nemechek, who was battling with the 20 of Tony Stewart. What a race we're turning this into now as we run down that 25. We now know, of course, Brendan Gaughan will be driving that number 25 next season. Will be very exciting to see what kind of season he can put together as a full-time Cup Series rookie as we continue to roll this outside line. But Tony Stewart, he's moved up to the outside, and now he's going to be kind of holding me up because he's going to be right in front of me here as we exit turn 4. So that's an opportunity for the 25 to pass him, and then actually he crossed up in front of the nose of the 20, who then stacked up on my nose, which means Stewart's probably going to have a bit of a slide right here into turn 1. There it is. He goes for a big slide. We have to check up, and that allows Labonte, Martin, Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming through to the inside, and just like that, we drop outside of the top 10, and now we'll be fighting for 11th and 12th here with the 99 and myself and the 20 of Stewart as well, as we are officially halfway. 88 laps in, 88 laps to go, as we continue to work our way back around the outside of the number 20 of Tony Stewart. And looking in my mirror, how about Jeff Green up into 13th place, having a good little run? Cautions out. He was one of the guys, including several others that had pitted under that last yellow. Dale Jr. was one of them. And now all those guys that pitted last yellow are staying out now, and everybody else, including myself, that didn't pit that last yellow, will all come in right now. It will be Kenny Wallace getting your free pass. You saw the reason for caution right there. The 32 slides into the outside wall. So, oh boy, we've had some change-ups. Kevin Harvick is nowhere to be seen. Kevin Harvick has plummeted down the order through the pit stop. So as we go back green, now the number 1 driver on tires, I believe, is the 25? I believe the 25 of Joe Nemechek as we go down this back straightaway here. And at this point now, that is going to be very interesting. Kevin Harvick takes a big hit in the pits. Can he work his way back forward into the conversation? That's not going to be easy, of course, with Bristol. Bristol is hard to get through traffic. We know that, as we have gotten ourselves into the top 10 right to the back of Kyle Petty's number 45 and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bit of contact on the back of the 45, but Dale Jr. leads the way right now as the 45 goes for a slide. That was expected after we caught the back bumper of him there, and he'll continue to slide into turn 1. We'll go 3 wide around the outside briefly. Now is Labonte's to my inside. Terry Labonte, that is, and now we'll split 3 wide here with Jerry Nadeau. And in the background here comes the 24 of Jeff Gordon, as we'll follow into turn 1 side by side, hopefully with the 77 of Dave Blaney. We got some slower traffic up ahead, including Jack Sprague, and that's going to really make things clump together. We're going to go 4 wide briefly. Jeff Gordon and myself split those 2. 4 wide around the outside. We continue 3 wide with Matt Kenseth. We're going to go into turn 1. 4 wide again. Gordon on the inside. Kenseth, Sprague in the middle. We're going to get crowded into the outside wall on the exit of turn 2, and a little too aggressive thinking I could hang with the 4-time champion of Jeff Gordon, and we pay the ultimate price now as we had dropped down to 15th or 14th place here and trying to rally our way back forward, and I just got a little too carried away. That's all that was, and I tried to stick it around the outside, and those guys were not having any of it, and that is sometimes the repercussions that come with driving a little over your head, and drivers not really having the greatest opinion of you. They will use you up when they see a good opportunity to do exactly that, and I think that's really what happened right there. And fair and valid, to be completely honest now, is, well, actually, Joe Nemechek's leading the way here with less than 75 laps to go in this race here from Bristol.
Stay high up here.
You see Dale Jr. continuing to fall down the grid at this point now. He, of course, is one of the drivers that had stayed out under that caution, and you're seeing now his struggles as this race continues. We're to the outside of that number 20, right to the back of the number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet here into turn number 1. Tony Stewart's going to force us 3 wide with the 43, then the 8. They all checked up right there. That was really awkward, as now we got a new leader. It's Matt Kenseth, or sorry, not Matt Kenseth, Mark Martin into the lead of this race. And everyone's clumped together right now with some lap traffic. And Martin leads. He's got Ryan Newman right behind him as we continue to battle inside this kind of top 15 with that lap traffic. And now we're dropping back down because through goes Dale Earnhardt Jr. as we'll launch to the inside of the 99 Roush Ford of Jeff Burton and pass him back. So back into 13th place we go at this point now as we're getting into crunch time. There could be some more green flag pit stops before this race is over. The 99 gets to my inside as I had to lift and not get into the back of the 20, and then immediately comes through Bobby Labonte. Everybody jumping to the outside here. So now I'm like, okay, let's get back down in line. Jeff Gordon's going backwards now. The 20 of Stewart going backwards. And we're going to pass both of them now, and then we're going to be actually 3 wide with Jeff Gordon. So we might not pass that 24 as we get in front of Jerry Nadeau. And now we will pass the 24 of Jeff Gordon, who's dropped back down to 14th. But as soon as he got to the inside, he would start to move. And now he's back to my inside as well and going forward into 13th place. So again, like I said earlier, I feel like if we're kind of hitting on all cylinders, we're about a 15th place car here tonight. And I think we're proving that right now with how we're running. But again, now running back down, Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, Labonte as well. And as they run the top, it's a wide open opportunity for me to just slip by on the inside and make some passes as Mark Martin continues to lead in that Viagra number 6 Ford for that Roush team. Now as we'll make a pass for P12 and continue working our way forward, now passing Jeremy Mayfield, not for position. He's had just been slacking all weekend long on pace now, as again a pass from the 20 of Tony Stewart. The position shuffling in this episode has been wild. It's just been constant shuffling of track position as we'll get around this number 0 of Jack Sprague. And into 13th place we go again. And we would watch Tony Stewart drive away and start to work his way through some traffic. And now we're working again on this 18 of Bobby Labonte. We're getting closer to the potential of green flag pit stops. That's something we're going to have to watch out for here in these closing laps now. And we're racing hard with the Center State Battery Chevrolet now looking for P12 from Labonte. Can we clear him? Not quite. Labonte hangs at my right rear. Bit of contact there. Good old short track racing, and it's physical. And now into 3 and 4 off the corner will clear him. So into P12 at this point now, and running down Jamie McMurray, who's down in 32nd. You know who we have not seen yet? Kevin Harvick. 29 car has been nowhere to be found now as we have got green flag pit stops kicking off at this point. Here we go. Mark Martin coming in. Ryan Newman now to the lead in the Penske number 12, looking for win number 5 of the season in that 12 team. What a season it has been, and what a season it continues to turn into for them. But in comes several drivers. Again, we're going to go a little bit further here in this run than a lot of these other guys, and we'll pass Dale Jr. And as we continue on into the final 25 laps of racing, my goal here is we're going to go a little bit further, and then we're going to take 2 tires only. I feel like everyone else might take 4, but we're going to take only 2 tires and try to gain some track position. If a caution comes out, that's really going to screw us, but we're going to bank on no caution coming out. So now as we prepare to make this pit stop, we're going to come in here, lap 153, very late call, but we come in nonetheless, and we have 2 seconds of repairs that we're not going to make. So just a simple 2-tire call here. It's going to take approximately 8.1 seconds, and we'll get back onto the racetrack, and we'll see where we cycle out. Right now 14th, but obviously that's going to change. Ryan Newman finally into the pits from the lead of this race. Now we'll pass him. We'll put ourselves, I believe, onto the lead lap, as we are right in front of the 6 of Mark Martin. So that tells you, I mean, Martin was leading the race, and now, well, he's going to get to my inside here, and Tony Stewart's now leading this race. So as we continue on, there goes Greg Biffle for a position as well. So they are on 4 tires. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to hold guys off. As a caution, so we were actually a lap down, and Tony Stewart has got the field trapped a lap down with Rusty Wallace, Newman, Marlin as well. Are you kidding me? Several drivers trapped 2 laps down, 3 laps down, 4 laps down as well. And that just won those guys up front the race. It's going to be Nemechek getting the free pass, Stewart, Wallace, Newman, Marlin, Johnson, all on the lead lap. Wow, and we cannot take a wave around. Obviously, we come in, as you see the 74 going around for the caution, but I come in because we're on 2 tires, we're going to get destroyed, so we got to try something different. So Rusty Wallace and Ryan Newman of the front row now leading over Marlin, Johnson, Stewart, who eventually pitted and goes into the back of the top 5, and there's only 6 cars on the lead lap as we retake the green flag with 16, or, well, we're a lap down, so 15 laps to go here from Bristol Motor Speedway. speedway, we're all the way in the back because of the fact that we pitted right there. So if we had just stayed out on the 2 tires, we were doomed. Now, of course, coming in for the 4 tires, like I said, it puts us to the back, so it's not ideal either way, but I would rather have this and maybe get a potential yellow, which will then allow us to jump back forward, hopefully, but still, I mean, yeah, 15th, something I'm not going to hang my head too low about. I had hoped to run a little bit better, but Ryan Newman has gotten the lead away from his teammate of Rusty Wallace late in this race. Is it going to be a 5th win on the season for this number 12 team of Ryan Newman? It looks very much like it could be another great night for that 12 team on the way here, with coming up on 10 laps to go. And as we continue to rip the outside, we're going forward and we're making ground, and we might be able to run down a few drivers for position. Both Dale Jr. and Kenny Wallace are 2 seconds up the road. You can see them right now in turn 3. There's only 2 cars between myself and those guys. I don't know if we have enough time though. 2 seconds and 10 laps, not even 10 laps, sorry, 8 laps now. So it's going to be difficult, but as we come to lap 171 for the front runners, Dale Jr. is right there in front of Benson, so we might get there by the end of this race. Will we see a caution or not, as Ryan Newman actually up front right now is under pressure as he starts to work his way through some lap traffic, and it's from the number 40 of Sterling Marlin, who's going to go 3 wide with Newman around the outside in lap traffic. Sterling Marlin's going to take the lead in the closing laps. Kansas on the inside, not for position. He's trapped a lap down. And to the lead goes Sterling Marlin in the final few laps here. Now Newman drops to second over Jimmy Johnson in third. Can you believe it? Is it going to be a 3rd win on the season for Sterling Marlin? That would be career win number 13. We're coming to the final lap, and he's got control of this race. Now 1 lap to go for Marlin, as we're right to the back of Kurt Busch and Dale Jr. This is for position now, but I don't know if we're going to quite be able to get it, but Sterling Marlin through 3 and 4 one more time. He's going to get his 3rd win of the season, taking it away from Newman in the closing laps. Career win number 13 for Sterling Marlin, and we would get Kurt Busch at the line for 14th. What a race and what a win for Sterling Marlin. Now 3rd win on the season for him in the twilight of his career. And rounding up the top 5 was Rusty Wallace and Joe Nemechek there in 6th. Biffle and Kenseth and Gordon. Bill Elliott round out the top 10. Matt Kenseth made some, of course, gains early in the race, but then the way things went, it allowed Tony Stewart to end up outpointing him. Kevin Harvick does not even end up in the top 20 after what looked like it could have been his day to go to victory lane. Let's take a look at the points. Tony Stewart now has a 17-point advantage on Matt Kenseth. And you look at the guy with the 3 wins, Sterling Marlin, he's only 19th in the points because there's just been no consistency out of that 40 team this season. What a wild season it's been for them. That does it for me. We are coming up on the final 11 races. I'll see you guys in the next one as we continue. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.